Congratulations, you made it to the very last video. As a reward, I'm going to give you actually some of my serious side. I'm not going to yell at you and tell you how much you suck, even though you do. So we are now on the heavy support section of the Necron Codex. Let's get started, because we are all pressed for time here at my house residence, because I'm not telling you my last name. So we start off with the Doomsday Arc. These things are, in my opinion, not very useful at all, just because of the simple fact they cannot shoot and move their awesome Doomsday Cannon with the awesome Large Blast Strength 9 AP 272 range profile. If they move, it gets reduced to like a Strength something, AP something, small blast with a much shorter range. It's really silly, even though it's like, it sounds good on paper. I know a lot of you think you should take it, but just do me a favor and don't. You want to know why? Because it competes with the next option, the Annihilation Barge. Arguably one of the best units in the Codex. I know I've said that about a lot of things. That's why I say arguably, because you can argue that other things are better. They're only 90 points for an, by quantum shielding, armor 13 skimmer, even though it's open top, with a twin-link Tesla Destructor, and if you give it the right stuff, an undermounted Gauss Cannon. It's absolutely amazing. The amount of damage a Tesla Destructor can put out with the 4 twin-link shots, needing only 1/6 to get 2 extra hits onto that, is ridiculous. It kills infantry really well, it annihilates Horde amazingly, it can kill light armor really well, you know, Dark Eldar run for your freaking lives from these things if you don't kill it the first turn. And they're 90 points each. I was at a 750 tournament yesterday and I had 2 of these things, and they were amazing. They're just such a steal. It's such a low point value for such a good unit. Take these things. Take 2, if not 3, in all of your lists. They are so freaking good. Next we have the Necron Monolith. It's a unit that I really wish was as good as it was in the last Codex, but I'm not. They tried to justify a 35-point drop with losing way too much stuff. It's not immune to Melta anymore. It can't, like, its particle whip is in strength 9 anymore. It does not AP 1 in the center anymore. It doesn't have its awesome Gauss Flux arcs anymore that shoot everything within 12-inch range. It's just not as good anymore. There's really no more... It just comes down to the fact that you can kill it now. It used to be almost virtually unkillable in the last Codex, unless you had a really lucky las cannon or broadsides. That's the only way you could do it. Or super Thunderhammers, but, you know, Grey Knights are stupid. They can have those strength 10 Thunderhammers. Or Gaskell. Gaskell hurt it a lot. Makes me sad. Next we have the Doom Scythe. These things are... They're what's known as, in the 40k universe, a glass hammer, which means when they do hit, they hit really hard. But if you shoot them with anything more than a bolter, you can most likely kill it, which is really sad. I should say anything more than a heavy bolter. Anything strength 6 or higher. These things will go down really fast. If you're playing against Grey Knights, forget it. Their autocannons will kill you on turn 1. They do have some useful stuff. They can shoot their super strength 10 line weapon, AP 1, and their Tesla Destructor, even after moving, like, supersonic, I think, after moving 12 inches. And they're really useful, but they're only armor 11. They don't have quantum shielding. They will die really fast. Some things that if you really want to take these things, you can use them for. They have the supersonic rule, which means they can move 36 inches if they so choose. Which means if it's the last turn and your opponent thinks he has an objective, you can be like, hey, now there's a giant scythe over you contesting it. And then you get the win for it. Next up is the Night Scythe. Wait, no, I'm sorry, that's dedicated transport. Thought they'd both be there. I'm sorry, the Canoptech Spider. Canoptech Spider is a 50-point model with some fancy special rules. The special rule is that if there's a Scarab base within, I believe, 6 inches of you, you can add another base to that Scarab swarm on a roll of a dice. And if you get a 1, you take a wound, but the base is still there. Anything else, you're fine. They're useful if you run what's known as a Scarab farm, which is, because in the heavy entry, heavy support entry for these guys, it says you can take 3 of them, counting as only 1 heavy support slot, and they just run around adding Scarabs to units, and if you so choose, killing vehicles. Because they are monstrous creatures, and they are strength 6 and toughness 6. They are hard to kill in close combat, and they will kill other stuff pretty darn well. Come to think of it, I don't know why more people don't put them into close combat. They will tear the house down. Of course, they're not eternal warriors, so anything Grey Knight will just laugh at them hysterically as they poke them with their Nemesis Pokey Sticks, because we all love Grey Knights and their Nemesis Pokey Sticks. However, to counteract that, they do have the only psychic defense in the Necron Codex, known as the Gloom Prism. Basically, it's a psychic hood. If it tries to target any psychic power tries to target a Tomb Spider or unit within 3 inches of the Tomb Spider, on a 4-up, the power is nullified. It's pretty nice. They can also take a, twin-linked particle beamer. It's like a small blast. I think it's strength 5 AP 4. It's not worth it at all. I don't know why you'd give them this. It's so expensive. It's 25 points per model. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't make them 75 points a model. It's a horrible idea. They also have a Fabricator Claw Array, which can be good if you have a lot of mech in your list, because you get in base to base with a damaged vehicle. On a 4-up, you can pick either a Weapon Destroyed or Immobilization to fix. However, it happens in the shooting phase, and if you pick the Weapon Destroyed, you can't shoot it that turn. You have to wait until next turn. So it's alright, but, you know. Yeah. Well, thanks for sticking with us throughout the entire video. My cameraman's falling asleep. So we're going to try and end this right here, and I hope you have good use out of all this information I've been giving you. I've been standing up here for about 2 hours yelling at you, and I hope you can actually intake some of what I'm saying and put it into your small brain and make a really good army list out of it. If you can't make a good army list, contact Orcs Warhammer 40k, and he will send me a message, and he will tell me, Ethan, there's this guy who doesn't know how to make an army list. Please make one for him. Here's the models he have. I'm not kidding, I will actually do that for you, because I'm just such a nice guy, can't you tell? So thank you for sticking with us throughout all these videos. You can go back to watching your cat videos now. I'm going to go to sleep and play Kirby Air Ride. I'll see you next time, guys.